One thing I've realised recently is just how bad I used to treat my sleep. I'd stay up way too late scrolling on my phone and watching YouTube, and then the next thing I know, it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I've got work in the morning. And then I'd wake up late, and I'd feel awful, and I'd be tired all day. I'd have low energy, no motivation. Like everything just felt harder, and I used to wonder why. And the more I've been trying to improve my life recently, the more I've realised that sleep might actually be like one of the most important things that a lot of us ignore. I recently read like an article that was like 1 in 3 adults does not get like the right amount of sleep. And that was definitely me, and I still have that on occasion now. But just being up to date with your sleep and not letting yourself get into like sleep debt where like you just lose hours, it changes your whole bloody life, man. I'm not gonna lie. If you relate to any of these following pointers, then you're just like me, and I'm ready to give you some like tips and tricks later on in the video. But yeah, do you stay up late? And are you restless most of the night? Do you spend a lot of your time scrolling or overthinking? Are you more awake at night than you are during the day? Do you sleep in and do you wake up absolutely knackered? Do you feel exhausted at work and just throughout your day? And do you rely on coffee? Because, well, all of those they were all my experiences. But I can imagine a lot of people suffer from the same things. And it is just knackering. And it's a cycle, it's a loop. And they're difficult to break. I can imagine a lot of you, if not all of you, already understand this. But sleep literally affects almost like everything in your body. It influences your mood, your memory, your focus, your hunger, your hormones, stress. It isn't just like resting and recuperating. Well, it is recuperating. It's just full on repair. It's your body fixing itself. And another article I recently read, I can't quite remember where, but it was saying after like 1 to 2 hours of lost sleep every night, and your brain performs pretty much the same as someone who's gone an entire day without sleeping, which is really kind of nutty. And people who have lost these 1 to 2 hours of sleep every night, getting 5 or 6 hours instead of 7 or 8, they have slower reaction times, they make worse decisions, and they make more mistakes. And it's happening to bloody everyone, The simple truth of the matter is you don't really need complicated routines or anything crazy in order to fix your sleep. Just be consistent, less phone before bed, and have a regular schedule. And I'll tell you a couple tips and tricks that I've used to improve my sleep. So tip number 1 that's helped me to find better sleep is to turn off your screen half an hour or 45 minutes before bedtime. That includes your phone, your laptops, your TVs. Just turn them off. You'll hear that everywhere, and you'd be surprised at how well it actually works. That's just the beginning, the first thing you have to do. And tip number 2 would be to find something relaxing that you enjoy and that winds you down. For me, that's things like reading, meditating, and yoga. I mostly do quick half an hour, 45 minutes of reading before I go to bed now, but meditating and yoga have definitely helped in the past. And at one point I even got one of those Shakti mats, the mats with the spikes. And at the time that really helped as well. But go out and find something that you can enjoy, but also winds you down and stops your brain running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And that goes hand in hand with the phone thing. And step 3, or tip number 3, is no smoking, whether that's cigarettes or weed, and no alcohol. You don't have to, you don't have to stick with this every single night, you know, if you're out with friends, go have a drink or have a smoke. But on a regular evening, these things definitely don't help. I used to smoke weed a lot in the past, and it had noticeable effects on my sleep. And then more recently, I used to drink quite often after work, have just a beer or two, and I just realised it would keep me up at night, similar to the cigarettes. It just gets your heart pumping a little bit faster, and it's counterintuitive for a good night's sleep. I don't drink and I don't smoke too much anymore, but I do smoke cigarettes, and I've realised that having one just before bed or maybe a little bit before bed really, like, it gets my heart going and it just wakes me back up, and it's not good. Tip number 4, which is very entertaining. No beating your meat. Lads and ladies, that goes for both of you. Wanking, I used to do it habitually, pretty much every evening. I'd just get into bed. I've got my spare time and I'll just go for it. But this really just woke me up straight away again. And like, I got into such a habit with it, and it would keep me awake every single night. You know, and I'm not even talking about, you know, when you're looking for videos for half an hour. This could be like, I found the video on Twitter in 30 minutes that I needed. Get it all going, get it done. And then I'm wide awake again. My heart rate's beating, my heart rate's spiked. It's fucked. So that's my tip number 4, or whichever one that was now. And my final tip, and I'm sure I could think of probably a couple more, but not off the top of my head right this second, is that for me, sometimes it feels like you need something in the background to help you sleep. And I'm not going to say don't do that. I'm going to say, just like, say if you've got to listen to something like one of these videos, just put it on at a low volume, put your phone screen or whatever down so there's no light, and you can listen to that or just have it on in the background for 10 to 15 minutes. And then when you think 10 to 15 minutes is up, even if you're wide awake or you're falling asleep, it's good if you're falling asleep, but if you're wide awake, turn it off. Don't have it running throughout the evening, all night. Just turn it off and then just lie there. And hopefully within the next 10 or 15 minutes after that, I tend to just knock out. That's my advice. Those are my 5 tips and tricks to helping get better sleep. I think the most important takeaway really about improving your sleep, or improving anything really in your life, is that you've got to really want it. You've got to have that motivation to improve. I started with my sleep, and because it's such a big part of your everyday life, it helped cascade. It was like a loop where improved sleep helped me improve other things, just by being more awake and more relaxed and just ready to face the day. It improved my motivation to improve in other areas of my life. So I'd recommend anyone to just give proper sleeping a go, because it's needed. It's literally the most important thing in your life. You spend 8 hours a day doing it. Work is 8 hours a day, but that ain't half as important as that. So yeah. If you guys have any other tips and tricks to help people improve their sleep, leave them in the comments below. And thank you all very much for watching. I think maybe improving your life doesn't start with waking up earlier and forcing yourself to be tired. It just starts with going to bed. And with that, I'll leave you now. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.